This is Hammer Striker here. We're here today to talk to you on this Memorial Day weekend about a nice American-made polymer pistol, the FNH FNS-9C. It's like a lot of the other polymer pistols. It has a lot of the similar features that we've come to be used to. First thing we'll do, I'll show you that this is clear. It's polymer and steel, like the majority of them. It's got a very nice, aggressive stippling pattern, but it's not painful. When you hold on to it, you feel you've got a nice solid grip on it, but it doesn't feel like it's going to bite into you or, abrade you. It's very comfortable to shoot. It comes from the factory with 3 magazines. The one that's in it right now, which has just a little bit of curvature forward, gives you a good solid 2-finger grip and a good feeling about where you're at on the grip. It has ambidextrous mag release on both sides. The magazine is spring, so if it were right side up, it would have popped free. And it also has ambidextrous slide release right here and right there. From a magazine perspective, it comes with this flush mount 12 round steel magazine, a 12 round with a pinky extender, and you can see the pinky extender, and when that's installed in the gun, it gives you a nice 3-finger grip with the extension. The extension's well curved, fits well with the curvature of the grip. And it comes with this extended 17 round magazine. And the 17 round magazine basically turns it into a full-size grip, and the stippling pattern carries forward onto the magazine extension, and it fits very well and gives you a nice, solid, comfortable grip on the gun. From a concealed carry perspective, which is one of the target areas for this particular one, you can carry the flush mount magazine for ease of concealment, and you could carry this extended magazine as your backup magazine. From a safety perspective, this one is available with an external safety. It would go right about here, but this particular model, it does not have the external thumb safety. It is drop safe. It does have the striker block safety, and it does have the drop safety trigger. Unlike the Glocks and several of the others, the mechanism, more like the Smith & Wesson's, it's a pivoting trigger. They call it an articulated trigger that pivots back, and then you get into the take-up and the firing of it. As far as the trigger pull itself, it's actually got a very nice trigger. When you start the pull, it feels just a little bit spongy as you take up the articulated trigger. And you slowly pull back. It's a fairly long pull compared to some of the other striker-fired pistols, but it's a very smooth pull. Then a crisp break. The reset is a little longer than some of the others, but it's still relatively short. Nice crisp click, audible click that you can feel in the trigger. And then another clean, crisp break. So overall, it's got a very, very nice trigger. It's not a competition trigger in the territory of like the Walther PPQ. But overall, a very nice trigger, easy to get repeatable, clean follow-up shots. These sights are very easy to see, very bright sights. These are not night sights, though night sights are available. But the sights are very easy to pick up, very clear, and the front sight has a very large white dot, making it very easy to see and very easy to acquire. When we had this gun at the range, it was a pleasure to shoot. It really controlled recoil very well. It was easy to get a hold of and comfortable to hold. You do get a Picatinny rail that you can attach lights and lasers and assorted accessories like that. And it does come with interchangeable back straps. It comes with 2. It comes with the large one that you currently see on it, and then it comes with this smaller one. And it's as simple as popping out the pin, swapping out the back straps, putting the pin back in, and you're ready to go. And it does have a nice aggressive but not rough stippling pattern on the back of the back strap, so it's easy to get a comfortable grip on it. It does come from the factory in a nice solid hard case, which is lockable. It has a cutout for a lock. And on the interior of the case, it's a molded case with when you look at this plastic, it looks like it would be hard and rigid, but it's actually kind of soft and squishy, so it won't scratch the gun. You put it in and out of it. But it's got molded pockets for the gun, the magazines, and the various accessories. A very well constructed, solid case that it comes with. Takedown on this is relatively easy. You confirm clear, lock it back, flip this lever down, and this is the only place where the takedown gets just a little bit touchy on this. You release the slide, it's under spring tension, so you bring the slide down, and then you need to line the slide up as if it were in battery, pull the trigger, and then you can pull the slide off. If the slide is moved forward a little bit, it kind of gets difficult to pull it off, and if you don't pull the trigger, then you'll have a difficult time pulling it off. Internally, you have the striker mechanism at the back, right here. You do have the striker block drop safety, dual captive recoil spring, and the standard barrel block assembly you see in the majority of the striker fired guns. It's a well constructed solid barrel with a nice polished feed ramp. Overall, a very well constructed, well thought out, solid pistol. All of the components, it feels solid, looks solid, well milled and machined, no rough spots. Reassembly is relatively simple. Put the barrel back in, drop the recoil spring in. As far as the frame goes, you can see that the frame itself is well constructed. It has a nice solid front rail, locking block assembly, very robust rails. Back has nice clear rails, solid, these are steel rails. And they're fairly long, so you do get a decent amount of coverage on the rails for stability, both sides. Other than that, pretty much standard striker fired architecture. You can see here it's got the dual slide releases. Reassembly is relatively easy now that you've got the slide reassembled. Slide the slide onto the rails, pull it back, and lock it back, which can be done from either side with the ambidextrous slide release. Flip the disassembly lever forward, bring it back down, and you're ready to go. From a comparison purpose, the other guns that you might be looking at in this territory, it is in the $500 price range, and it's really primarily designed as a concealed carry weapon, even though with the extended mags it actually makes a very nice range gun, or even in this format it's a pleasure to shoot at the range. But you might find that you'd be looking at something like this Glock 26. Now this particular one happens to have a Crimson Trace laser on it. Or you might be looking at something like this Springfield XDS. This is the XDS 45, it comes with a 5-round magazine. They make this in a 9mm, which comes with a 7-round magazine that's identical footprint as this. This is the 3.3 version of the XDS. The Glock comes with a 10-round magazine, so you've got 11 when you have one in the pipe. In the 9mm version of this, you'd have 8 with one in the pipe, and with this you'd have 13 with one in the pipe. So we'll set them up side by side so you can take a look at the size comparison. It'll take me a second to get them all lined up nice. You can see that the FNS is a little bit longer than either the XDS or the Glock, but not significantly. It's quarter-inch territory. Very, very minor difference in size. And if we turn them on their side, looking at the heights, you can see that. Let me turn it around this way so I can do it without pointing them at me. You can see the Glock is the shortest of them. Then you get to the XDS, and then you get the FNH. But it's not a drastic difference. It's not a difference that would make, when I put the shortest and the longest together, it's not a difference that's going to be go or no go on whether or not you would carry it, and with the FNH you do get 2 more round capacity. So it's right in there in the size territory of all of the others. And from a slide width perspective, the slide is 0.9 inches on it. It's a little bit thinner than the Glock, and it's a little bit thicker than the XDS. So it's kind of right in between those two. From a dimension standpoint, piece aside here, it's 6.7 inches long from end to end. It's 5.2 inches tall, and it weighs, it's 1.35 inches thick in the slide, and it weighs 23.4 ounces. It does have a 3.6 inch barrel, which is pretty much is consistent with a lot of the other guns in this size territory for concealed carry. Overall, it's a very pleasant gun to have. It's very well manufactured. It's easy to shoot well. It was a pleasure to have it at the range, and one of the things we ended up doing to pick this up is we did decide to trade in this Walther CCP that we had. The CCP was a nice gun, had some cool features, but it was different enough with that piston mechanism than a lot of the others that we had. We decided to trade that in, get something more like what the other ones that we use, and pick up this so that we could have some additional new things to bring to the channel. So we're welcoming this FNH to the family, and really enjoyed shooting it. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and hang on for some more range footage after the video. Thank you.